Hey, this is Gina Grad.
Hi, this is Teresa Strasser.
Hi, everyone. This is Mike Errico.
Hey there, this is Casey Cavalier.
I'm Rocky Rose.
And you are listening to The Jay Franze Show.
Lucky you.
Welcome to The Jay Franze Show, a behind-the-curtain look at the entertainment industry with insights you can't pay for and stories you've never heard. Now, here's your host, Jay Franze.
Well, hello and welcome to the show. I am Jay Franze, and this is your backstage pass to the entertainment industry. This week is going to be very special and, well, a little different. That's because this week we get to talk with an amazing dancer who is also my 9-year-old daughter. We get to talk with Lucy Franze, otherwise known as Lucy. We'll talk to her about who inspired her to start dancing, what her time at Pointe and MJM studios was like, and we'll discuss what it was like performing with the Cincinnati Ballet. Now, Lucy is not only an amazing dancer, but she's an amazing daughter, and I can't wait to talk with her tonight. So if you would like to join in, comment, or fire off any questions, please head over to jayfranze.com. Now let's get started. Lucy, my friend, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I am fantastic. I am very excited to have you here. So let's just jump in, my friend. You started dancing at, 4 years old? What did you do before that?
I started doing tumbling when I was about 2 years old, and then I decided I wanted to do dance.
Really? So what is tumbling? Tell us what tumbling is.
Back handsprings and cartwheels, and it's just all about just having fun.
What's your favorite skill when it comes to tumbling?
I like to do a round-off back handspring back tuck. It's where you just do a round-off, which is like a cartwheel, but you land with 2 feet. Back handspring is where you just go backwards, and a back tuck is where you go backwards, but with no hands.
Which one's more difficult?
Definitely the back tuck, because when you do your round-off back handspring, you barely have any energy to do your back tuck, so it's really hard to, shoot for the back tuck.
All right, so how long did it take you to learn how to do that?
I just learned it, 2 weeks ago.
You just learned how to do that 2 weeks ago?
Yes.
No kidding. I see you doing that stuff all the time. You're telling me there's one you just learned 2 weeks ago?
It's a harder one.
Is it a hard one? All right. So let's get into your dance career. You started at 4 years old. Where did you start?
Mm-hmm. I started in Pointe.
In Pointe? And where's that?
It's in California.
Oh, no kidding. So you were in California for a little while, weren't you?
Yes.
For 3 years?
About 3 years.
About 3 years. And you were at Endpoint the whole time?
Not the whole time. First, I saw my sister doing tumbling, but then she wanted to do dance. So then I thought if she did dance, then I thought it would be really fun to do it.
So did your sister inspire you to do it?
Yes.
That's cool. Do you look up to your sister?
All the time.
Do you really? She's pretty special, isn't she?
Yes.
Or do you just look up to her because she's tall? All right, so let's talk about Endpoint for a minute. What do you remember about Endpoint? What's your favorite part?
I remember my good friend Addie. She's really fun, and we used to hang out all the time, and we did a lot of classes. We did a dance together, so I thought that was really, really fun.
So how many friends did you make from that time?
Oh boy, a lot.
A lot?
Yes.
So how many of those friends do you still talk to?
I talk to 2 now.
Who are they?
Addie and Vivian.
Addie and Vivian. That's cool. How were your coaches? How'd they make you feel?
They made me feel like I needed to work harder, and I thought that was really good, because I like when teachers are kind of strict on me, because they're just making you a better dancer or a tumbler, so I think that's better for you.
It's good when your coach cares about you and holds you accountable, right?
Yes.
All right, so when you're doing the dance and tumbling, you're doing them at the same school. Which one do you like doing better?
I like dance way better.
Do you?
Because I think it's just funner, and I have a dance where I have to tumble in it, so like I have to do the same thing. So I think it's really fun that I could do both.
Okay. So when you were at Endpoint, you did some recitals before you moved out of California.
Yes.
What recitals did you do?
I only remember one of my dances, which is Here Comes the Sun. They were doing an 80s theme. My coaches thought that it would be cute to do Here Comes the Sun, so we were in like bright yellow costumes. Most of the time we were in circles, and I thought it was really, really fun.
So is that one of your favorite memories from Endpoint?
Definitely.
Is it really?
Yes.
So I know you performed in the Nutcracker recently, but you also performed in it once before. Can you tell me about that?
Well, we did it in Pointe, and we did like a mini recital at this mall.
And that was the Westfield Mall in San Francisco, right?
And I was a party girl.
You were a party girl? Are you a party girl now?
No.
No.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes? Oh, you partying out Taylor Swift these days?
Yes.
That's pretty cool. So you were at the mall. Do you remember much about that performance at the mall?
I just remember me holding my little doll and me just swinging it around. And I remember when we were about to go, like when we were lining up.
It was a large audience, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So what other things do you remember from Endpoint?
I remember this one time where I had to teach the older kids how to do a jazz walk, and my coach used to call me the jazz walk queen. A jazz walk is basically you do like a sassy walk, and you just move your hips and move your arms back, and you just go across the floor and you switch your feet. So it was really fun, and she made me get into the older kids class to show them how to do a jazz walk.
That was Miss Tiffany and Miss Hazel, right? Mm-hmm. Do you miss them?
Yes.
Yeah, they were pretty special, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
So you guys also, during COVID, you did a pretty special performance, right? Do you remember much about that?
Yes.
Can you tell me about it?
When we were doing the dance, that's when COVID hit. So we had to start doing, like, we were outside dancing. And I remember when we were outside dancing, a lot of people from parachutes were just flying in from above us.
You were in an airfield, weren't you?
Yes.
That was a pretty special way of doing a performance during that time, right? Is finding an outdoor space that you could do a large performance.
Yes.
Was that fun?
It was amazing. I had a lot of fun.
All right. So you're dancing now where, at MJM Studios?
Yes.
Okay, tell me a little bit about that.
Well, all the coaches are so nice, and on this season, I just got into the dance team, and everyone there is amazing. They're really nice, and everyone's just really there for you.
Yeah. So you're getting ready for a performance now. What performance are you going to be doing now?
In team, I have to do 2 dances. First is production, where the whole team joins together to do this one dance. The theme is Willy Wonka. I'm a chocolate bar and an Oompa Loompa.
Nice.
And in my jazz team dance, we are doing to the theme Surf Crazy from the movie.
Surf Crazy?
Mm-hmm.
So who's your favorite character from Willy Wonka?
I'm going to say Veruca.
Really? Why is that?
Because she's just this bratty little girl, and she gets to boss around everyone, and she's just like, I want this, I need that. So I think that's really fun.
So do you relate to her?
I think we're going to have a different answer.
Let's move on. So what is it about MGM you like now?
Mostly just all the team dances and just my dance sister. She's so nice.
What's a dance sister?
She's someone that you pick out of a jar, and
You pick her out of a jar?
You have names.
Oh, names are in a jar.
And she chose me. So when it's Christmas, we get exchange each other like Christmas gifts. Or when it's like a special time for that person, like a birthday or like something like that, you give them a really fun gift.
So she's kind of there to mentor you and help you.
Yes.
So you have her to guide you through the school. What other friends have you met at the school?
Ooh. I met a lot of people.
Yeah. And is it fun dancing with friends?
Oh, yes. Especially when you like make a friend, you feel like you get to like just have a lot of time dancing with them. So I think that's really cool.
So when you're dancing with friends, is it easier or harder to do a performance?
I think it's easier because if something happens, maybe if you fall, they won't like judge you. And if you have friends, they'll just be there to help you instead of just like there to just judge you.
So they're very supportive.
Yes, very.
So are you excited for this performance you have?
I'm really excited, like a lot.
Yeah. So talking about performances, I know you recently did a big performance. Can you tell me about that?
I was in the Cincinnati Ballet. I was the part of a chick. Some people call it the Mother Ginger, but in the Cincinnati Ballet, we called it the Mother Hen. So it's a hen, and we all move around in that one tiny hen. Then we burst out as funny chicks.
Okay,
And-
hold on a second. I've got a lot of questions here.
Okay.
You're what, 9 years old?
Yes.
And did you say the Cincinnati Ballet?
Yes.
Okay, how does something like that happen?
First you have to audition.
So how did you find out there was an audition?
One time my mom just woke me up and she was just telling me, hey, do you want to like do this fun thing? I'm sure it's really fun. It's for the Cincinnati Ballet. But she never told me what part it was for.
Right.
So when I found out it was a chicken, I was laughing.
So you find out there's an audition for the ballet. Did you know that there was hundreds of people auditioning?
I thought it was just going to be like a tiny little recital,
Right.
but it was not a tiny big
No,
recital.
it wasn't tiny at all, was it?
No.
So you find out that you're auditioning and you're going up against hundreds of people. Did that make you nervous?
Yes.
It did? Made you nervous? So how do you handle being nervous in auditioning?
Well, we have this little dance backstage where you just shake your hands, shake your feet, and then you shake your whole body. And then you tap your head, give yourself a kiss, and then you tap your knees and touch the ground.
Is that just a way of working out the nerves?
Yes.
All right, does it work?
Yes, and also the older kids backstage, they also give me like cool thumbs up, and when I'm dancing, they do the dance too,
Okay.
which like gives me a lot of support, and I really like it.
Well, that's really nice of them. What was it like when you first walked in?
When I first walked in, I saw it was huge. The building was just like ginormous, so I thought that must be pretty big. So then when I saw a lot of people, I actually saw someone from MJM. So I thought that was really cool.
So you find out you make it, and at that time, how excited were you?
I was thrilled. First, thought that I was in big trouble because I just recently just looked at this video and they told me that I'm in big trouble. So then they made me go downstairs and I was so scared. Like I was terrified. But then when I got the good news, I was jumping up and down like really happy because I thought I was not going to make it.
So your parents tricked you?
Yes,
Really? Who would do that?
you. You would.
Nice. Well, yeah, I guess I would do that. Sorry. So you were excited. You found out you made it and you were very excited.
Like thrilled.
Yeah. So then what happens next? You start rehearsing?
You started rehearsing and I had to get pulled out of school.
Really?
It was fun, but the teacher gave me like a whole notebook just to like read about and like do whatever you're missing out on, which was mostly reading. I do not like reading, so I had to do all that at the Cincinnati Ballet.
Yeah. So you mentioned you get pulled out of school. You weren't pulled out of school entirely, were you? You were just pulled out like half days and things like that?
Yes, I was only pulled out because they do the practices for like 2 hours to maybe 3, but they decided to do it like in the middle of school.
Right.
So I had to get pulled out, and one day I only got 1 hour of school.
All right, so you're practicing and you're doing these rehearsals, and how often were they? They were frequent, weren't they? Almost every day?
Almost about every single day. When we first started, it was about just like every Saturday, but then it turned into almost every single day.
Yeah. And did you like the rehearsals?
Oh, yes. It was fun, but when you got home, your feet are in so much pain.
So it was hard on you.
Yes.
All right, so you work hard. How long were the rehearsals?
Like 2 hours to 3. I remember one day being 4 hours.
So anywhere from 2 to 4 hours a day leading up to the performance?
Yes.
Now, the performance was over at the Cincinnati Music Hall, but you rehearsed over at the Cincinnati Ballet headquarters. What was that like?
It was pretty cool. Again, when I walked in, I still couldn't believe that I was there.
Were you nervous the first time?
The first time, yes. I was very nervous.
How quickly did you get over those nerves?
Pretty quickly. When I was practicing, I wasn't really that nervous. But when we started to do like our regular like practices, like on stage, just like a little bit of people, I thought that wasn't that bad. But then when you actually like go on stage, you forget everything and you just go over the steps in your head. But backstage, you get really nervous.
Well, that's a big performance, right? The performance itself is a little over 2 hours. So you're doing a 2-hour performance. How hard is it to remember those routines?
Really not that hard, because I remember one time me and my friend practiced to make sure we really know the dance. So we started having a conversation while doing it, and we forgot about the dance, but we were still doing it, so that made us feel better.
So when you practice that often, the repetition kind of drills it into your memory?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like just muscle memory and doing it for so long.
Very cool. So can you tell me about the parts that you had?
I was a snowball, which was my first one before I did something else.
Okay, tell me about the snowball first.
The snowball is just tumbling on stage. All you do is like cartwheels, and then like found off I can't sing, then cartwheels off stage. It was really short, but I remember me being really nervous about like everything before I went on stage. I was like freaking out. But once you do it more, it makes you more nervous. I don't get that.
So you got more nervous the more you did it?
Yes.
Is that because you think you might mess up?
Mm-hmm. But the teachers, trust me, I messed up before. They said they couldn't tell, and I thought they could tell like a lot. And I thought they were gonna like get mad at me, but they really weren't. They were really nice and supportive.
That's pretty cool. I mean, I think one of the reasons you got the part was because of your tumbling skills, wasn't it?
Yes.
So, I mean, I know it's a ballet performance, but they had tumbling within it, and that seems to be one of your strong points. What were some of the techniques that you had to perform?
I had to do cartwheels, 3 cartwheels, and then you have to run, round off back handspring, and then you cartwheel off stage.
Okay. So the round off back handspring, what was that like? Because that's a
Woo.
tough move, right?
Yes. So when I did it, I wasn't that nervous, but I was nervous if my hoop, because we have this big dress, it only went down to our knees. I don't know why I'm calling it big, but it had a hoop, because when you're dancing, it goes up and down, but it has a strap at the bottom to make sure it doesn't fully go up.
So were there challenges? Was it hard for you to do those moves wearing that costume?
At first, I was really, really scared the first time that I did it. But then when I did it, like, on stage, I wasn't that nervous. And I was a little bit nervous at the first time because there was snow falling down on you. It was just, like, a little paper. And it was, like, in a square shape. And it was just, like, really tiny. And everything just goes up and down, and it falls.
All right. So when you're doing your routines and you're upside down, your hoop doesn't fall down?
Yes, but if it does, it's not that big of a deal because you have a leotard on and you have pants.
Might not be that big a deal for you, but I think for your father that would be a pretty big deal.
if you could be in it.
Oh, no, definitely not. Definitely not for me. No,
You
thank
should
you.
probably be in it because there was like dads in the thing and they were gingerbreads and all they do was like da-da-da-da-da. You should do it.
Yeah, maybe next time.
You should do it.
So your first time that you're going to go on stage and you see the crowd, what's that feeling like?
Well, you can't see the crowd at all because all the lights are shining on you.
But there were thousands of people. Thousands. When you're on stage, did the nerves just go away?
Definitely, when you're dancing, you don't even think about what's going on. All you think about is like what's going next. And a lot of people say when I go on stage, I just like do whatever I want to do, like do your dance. But I have to think about timing and like how much times I have to do this cartwheel or what time am I supposed to do this. And you have to count in your head, like, so it goes 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
And that helps you stay in sync with everybody else?
Yes, it really helps if other people are also counting.
While you're talking about that, are there markings on the floor or anything that help you know where you're supposed to be?
Yes, and there's definitely a lot of markings because other dancers too have to like.
They all have to know where to be?
Yes, and there's a mark. There's like a little. It looks like a snowflake. It's basically just an X or 2 lines through it.
So is that how you knew your spot was because they made it look like a snowflake?
Well, that's just on center. That's for everybody on center. And my other part is a chicken. So when you're in the chicken, people that's moving
You're in the chicken? What do you mean by in the chicken?
In the hen is basically like I was on 2 parts, a snowball and a chick, mother ginger, but we call it the mother hen. It was basically about just like people hatching out, and it was the chicks. And so we were the chicks. And
so this was a pretty big hen on the stage.
It was big.
Big. So you were underneath the hen or inside of the hen?
Mm-hmm. There was one.
How many?
There was 6 people, including the drivers. The drivers help you keep going because we don't move that thing by ourselves.
So this thing was mechanical?
Yes. And there's people that have to drive it, and there's strings to open the hen or like move the head.
Okay. It opens up and then the chicks come out. So you guys come out of the hen and then do your performance?
Yes.
So when you're inside of the hen, what's that feel like? Like, are you on a platform that moves or do you move around with it?
Well, the drivers are just moving it and we have to walk along. And they never told me that they were turning because that was something new for me. And when we were turning, I tripped over a lot of people. And I also stepped on the driver's foot because he's right next to me. There's 2 drivers. I stepped on the driver's foot.
Nice. Was that embarrassing?
I don't think he really cares.
Or was it funny?
I think it's funny because he doesn't really care. All he says is just have fun, guys.
So when the mother hen, when that opens up and you come out and you're doing your performance, are the nerves gone at that point? Is it exciting?
Yes, it's really fun. We don't get time to do like a little like thing to like and like shake it all off, but we do it when the hen drops and there's a egg that just comes out, and then the whole thing just stops, and we do our like little hand things. So then we have that, so that doesn't really get me nervous. I don't know how that just doesn't get me nervous. There's people at the other side doing it, not because we need it, just because they're like the company dancers, and we all think it's really good luck if people do it backstage.
Okay. So I know you did your 2 parts, but those were 2 parts within a large 2-hour performance. And when you're getting ready for your time to come on the stage, is there some sort of holding area?
Yes.
Can you tell me about that?
So it's just a big place that you get to tumble and make sure you're stretched. before you go on stage.
Anybody else back there with you?
Yes, there's a lot of grown-ups, and my mom was actually one of the volunteers. But there's like a lot of people. So there's the older company dancers, but there's young people like me and Clara and Poodle, and there's a lot of like people and friends that are backstage with you.
So your mother volunteered there to help out?
Yes.
Did that make it easier for you?
Yes, and she get it to like walk us backstage,
Yeah.
which I thought was really fun, and I always squeeze her hand when I'm really nervous.
Yeah.
So I think that helps a lot.
That's pretty cool to have your mother be there for you. Be very supportive.
Very.
I know you had to get pulled out of school to do this, but typically do you enjoy school?
I kind of like school because it's just fun.
You like going to school?
I don't like reading. I like math and all the other stuff, but I do not like reading.
No, I don't blame you. I don't like to read either. Nothing fun about reading for me.
No, but my favorite subject is probably math and writing.
Yeah? Why do you like math?
I never really thought about this. I guess it's just because, like, well, my teacher's amazing. Like, shout outs to her. She is amazing. She, like, helps me through a lot of problems.
Do you feel like math has a lot to do with dancing?
There's some stuff that helps you, because when you have to count, some teachers ask you, what count is this on? So then you have to go through all the counts and numbers to make sure you got the right count.
Music itself has got a lot to do with math, and I can understand dancing and your, performing in time with the music itself. So I could see how math could be one of your stronger subjects. When you're with these, you call them the company performers?
Company dances.
So those are the people who are full-time ballerinas, right?
Yes, the professionals.
The professional ballerinas. I would say you're a professional ballerina at this point. You auditioned, you got into the ballet, and you did their biggest performance of the year. I would say that's pretty cool. I would say you're a professional. You're a professional to me.
Thanks.
So were they nice to you?
Oh, yes. Like the company dances?
Yeah.
Well, everyone backstage was so helpful. But the company dances backstage, again, they did our dance, which was really fun because they've been there for like years and years, so they know all our dances.
Yeah.
Which I thought was pretty cool.
But they made you feel comfortable?
Yes.
Did they talk to you? Did they socialize with you?
Well, there's absolutely no talking backstage. Like, that's the number one rule.
That makes sense. I get a question for you. I mean, you're out there, you're performing in front of this large audience, thousands of people in this performance hall, and they actually had an orchestra there. You didn't get to practice and rehearse with an orchestra, so did that make any difference to you?
Well, when we were practicing, there was a piano playing our music, and there's people, they dress up to do the piano. They're like in full suits just to come to practice, which I thought was really cool. And they just like do their thing,
Right.
which I thought was pretty cool.
That was a large orchestra. Did that add to your nerves at all?
No, I didn't really think of the orchestra that much.
They were very impressive. They were very, very talented people.
And a lot of people do not know this. They have to play the music way louder because we have headsets on and you cannot hear. Everything is stuffed up, so they play it really, really loud to make sure we know all of our counts.
That's pretty cool. So when you have a headset on, does that add to your nerves?
No, because the orchestra does an amazing job of making sure they do everything.
They were the Cincinnati Symphony, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and they were good.
Amazing.
Yeah, they were, weren't they?
Yes.
I mean, I watched them. I thought they were awesome. I mean, they were very, very talented. It probably would have made me more nervous. I mean, because a recording never changes, right? So if you're dancing to a recording, you know exactly what to expect. I would think that a symphony like that, for me, that would probably make me a little bit more nervous.
I remember this one practice, everyone was just laughing everywhere because when we were doing our dance, the teacher said if something happens with the orchestra, like faster or slower, then she made us practice with the music like that
Right.
to make sure we know it. So we practiced it all fast, and when we had to do something really, really fast, it was funny because when they were doing, the chicks also do tumbling, but I was not the one doing tumbling. It was two of my really good friends. They had to do, cartwheel, round off, back handspring, and they had to go really, really fast, which was really funny to watch.
So, again, it's good to have friends there, right? And be part of all that stuff. And that probably makes it a little bit more comfortable for you, not only having the friends there, but to discuss your routines and help each other through it, right? I mean, did they support you and maybe help you, encourage you in any way?
Yes, backstage they also helped me a lot. We get to play games backstage, so they were always like really fun to do games back there, and I actually learned 2 new games.
Really? What were they? Tell me.
Mancala, which is so much fun, and Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza.
Yeah, no, those are 2 of my favorites.
Do you even know what Taco Cat Goat
No.
Cheese Pizza?
No, I don't. Would you do this again?
Yes, but it's really hard, and I had to miss a lot of opportunities, which I was really sad for.
Yeah. How many shows did you do of the Nutcracker? Because it was a short period of time, right?
I had to do 9 shows.
9?
Well, there's 16 shows in total, but the other cast does, if I'm doing my math right, 7, and I had to do 9.
There was 2 groups. Why were there 2 groups?
Because there was, again, 16 shows, and they were not going to make us do 16 shows in total, so they just did 2 separate groups.
So they had the same company performing, and then for the younger performers, they broke them down into 2 groups so they didn't have to work them every day, I'm assuming.
But we practiced together.
Yeah.
We practiced together, but at, actual shows, they weren't just going to sit there the whole time.
No.
So there was 2 groups.
Okay. Did you have any friends or family come watch you?
Yes, I had my dance team, Miss Jessica. That was actually the first time I've ever saw her since she had a baby. So it was really, really fun to get to see her again. And the other one was Miss Katie. She is my acro teacher, and she is so much fun. And we have a great friendship. And you actually came to watch me. Was that fun?
Of course I did.
Was that fun?
It was very cool. I liked it a lot. I went to one of the first shows because I wanted to see you right at the very beginning. Who else went?
Aunt Vita and Aunt Jan and my Nana came, which was really fun.
What about people in the neighborhood? Do you have any neighbors go?
Oh, yes.
Who went? Mr. Mike
Mr. Mike and
and Shelley.
Lexi and Lucy came to watch, and we hang out all the time. And Jeevy, she's one of my best friends. She helped me a lot.
Yeah.
She was in the Nutcracker with me, and it was really fun. Her birthday was actually, I think it was yesterday.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
It was yesterday. Her birthday was yesterday, so happy birthday, Jeevy.
Well, I know your sister went to watch you. I believe some of her friends went to watch you as well. Do you remember who they were?
Yes, Lexi and Audrey.
Lexi and Audrey. Did that make you nervous at all to have them there?
No, it actually made me more comfortable because if you thought about it, would you rather have a whole thing of strangers or people that you actually know?
I think I would rather have strangers.
Tell us why.
Good question. Thank you. I think I would rather have strangers because strangers don't know anything about you. I think it's easier to perform in front of strangers. When I used to play in the rock bands and stuff, I always thought it was a lot easier to perform in front of strangers than it was to perform in front of friends or family.
Well, if you're singing.
Well, I don't sing.
You don't sing.
I don't sing. And Shelby was at one of your performances. So I see that face. Did Shelby make you nervous?
Shelby did not make me nervous at all. We had a sleepover.
You had a sleepover? Tell me about that.
After the show, we had a sleepover. It was a Christmas party, but then it turned into a girls' night. and we watched Super Pets because there was a little kid also with us, so we couldn't watch any like scary movies. We had to watch Super Pets, which made me fall asleep, actually.
Nice.
So I was happy about that. So that was really fun, and she definitely did not make me nervous. She just made me like more excited to do it.
All right. So what's next for you?
My dream in dance is to make it to this one place, which is New York City Ballet.
Oh, really?
I saw a movie about it, and they're really, really harsh. And I kind of like that because it just makes you a better dancer. So I think
you like that type of stuff, don't you?
Mm-hmm. They're just telling you to be a better dancer. So I think it's better to have strict people instead of just nice. Because are you going to dance class just to like have fun? Well, yes, but you also want to make sure you learn stuff. That's the reason why you're there.
So you need somebody to keep you on track. I remember when I played hockey and, throughout school and high school and stuff. I know it was a long time ago, kid, leave me alone. But I remember I liked the coaches who were a little bit more strict and stuff too. Yeah, you can make fun of me. I get it. I understand. I'm old. You're 9 years old. I'm 55. Here we are, my friend. This is how it works. All right. Well, we do this thing here we call Unsung Heroes, where we take a moment to shine the light on somebody who works behind the scenes, somebody who's helped you, somebody who may have been supportive to you. That could be a friend, it could be a family member, or somebody through your school or so on. Is there anybody that you'd like to shine a little light on?
Like, of course, GV.
Of course.
Yes. GV, all my family members, and all the people that paid money to go see me, because I know it was a lot of money, so I'm happy that everybody that came to see me. And I'm going to also do my mom and my dad.
Yeah, who are they?
You're right there.
Oh, sorry.
My mom is upstairs, but I want to tell her because she supported me through the whole thing, and she just told me not to be nervous and not to do that. She also took time in her day to drive me. So that was really fun, and she's just like been there like for everything. And my dad, because he takes time again to drive me.
Only because it's too far to walk.
Who would want to walk?
No, we make you walk.
But that was really fun, and he supports me through the way, and I think that's really fun.
That's very cool.
I was about to say funny.
I appreciate you saying that. A big thanks to Lucy for taking the time to share her stories with us. And thank you for taking the time to hang with me here. I really do appreciate it. Please follow, share, and connect on all the socials. You could even tell a friend. I'd appreciate that too. You can do this and find the links to everything mentioned over at jayfranze.com/episode 47. Thanks again for listening, and I'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening to The Jay Franze Show. Make sure you visit us at jayfranze.com. Follow, connect, and say hello. This episode has been brought to you by VR Knives, your source for 100% custom knives made by a true rock star. So, if you're in the market for a new piece of art, reach out to VR Knives. 407-421-5528. 407-421-5528.